doozy. Well, I want to give you a down-to-earth example of a manifestation that's unfolded for me over the last week, just to show you how probably different manifestation can look from the mainstream YouTuber influencers you see talking about manifesting big things in 3 days, 3 weeks, whatever, all that nonsense. If you don't know who I am, my name's Tim, and I just get more real about this stuff than basically anybody on YouTube. There's a book below, The Law of Attraction Simplified. You can download it for free. In the description is the link, where it talks about the kind of manifestations and the kind of process that people like myself go through to manifest things. And it will probably help if you're serious about this stuff. Of course, honestly, most people clicking on this video probably aren't serious. Sorry. Don't mean to be a jackass. Yeah, this is a really boring manifestation story, and it's absolutely manifestation. Absolutely. This is what so much of this stuff comes down to a lot of the time. So let's get on with it. I'm a busy dad of 2. I'm busy all the time, so it seems. It's very difficult sometimes for me to carve out pockets of solitude, of meditation. And nonetheless, I really do my best to do that because it's very important for me. And the last, I was going to say a couple of weeks, really it's been like a month. My wife and eldest went to Milwaukee for a few days. And ever since they went and I was with my 3-year-old, and since they've come back, it's just been like a lot of action, right? A lot of stuff, family-wise, just being very, very busy. And then like a lot of maintenance, house maintenance stuff. Boring in your 40s manifestation stuff that I have to, work through. And I've had this issue with my toilet where I needed a new valve, just because the valve needed to be replaced. And I, called the manufacturer and they're like, oh, we'll send it to you for free. Which was great, but I didn't do anything for a couple of weeks. I just didn't want to deal with putting it in, even though it would only take 20 minutes because I was so busy doing other stuff. Last week, it's finally like, all right, I'm going to do this. I've got a couple minutes. This should only take me about a half an hour. Go on YouTube, figure out how to do it. And you know what? The freaking metal nut with the water line, what was connecting it to the line, like this nut was stuck to the plastic, to make a long story short, using my real plumbingese language here. And I couldn't undo the nut. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to call my plumber. Here's the thing. My plumber's a hard dude to reach. Okay? And, he's responsive, but he's hard to schedule in. And meanwhile, my toilet's all fucked up, right? So I text him, he texts me back relatively quickly, I'm not around. I say, all right, let me try this other guy. And this whole time, man, you got to understand, this is important. This is part of the whole manifestation process, okay? Am I in like a bliss state? Oh, I'm in flow. No, I'm fucking irritated. This metal nut won't come off, right? But I stay even keeled, right? As I have been over the last month, even though I've been really busy. Because I know what my priorities are, which is peace and an underlying sense of calm. If things are calm on the outside or if things are messy on the outside, regardless. Inwardly, I know that's always there. That's what I'm always kind of remembering and recognizing within myself. But do I feel calm when I'm working on this freaking toilet or texting my plumber and he can't show up? Of course not, man. I'm irritated, but I don't let that irritation spin out of control. So what Papa Bear Tim does? Is this not the most boring manifestation story ever? By the way, if you want other stories like this, I'm trying to think of other people who do this, and the only 2 I can think of on YouTube are my friend Marvin Daniels, who many of you know because I do relationship coaching with him sometimes. I'll put a link above to his channel. And my friend Maggie Murphy, better known as Neville Goddess, she's done dozens of videos of boring manifestations, wonderfully boring manifestation stories like this one. I'll put a link above to Maggie's channel as well. probably the two best YouTubers out there when it comes to manifestation stuff on YouTube. Yeah, so what I do is I'm like, oh, you know what? I know there's this other guy that came recommended to me years ago from some like, local group or whatever, some mom's group, right? I texted them before, but I ended up not, having them come over, a couple years ago. But I hadn't even thought of this guy since. I texted him, or excuse me, I called him. He picked up, which is very nice because plumbers don't always pick up in my area. And I said, listen, I got this issue in my toilet. Any chance you can swing by, this afternoon or tomorrow? And he said, you know what? You're right in my neighborhood. I'll swing by. If you made it this far, God bless you. You're a serious manifester. So this guy shows up. He goes, how did you find me? I say, I'm this mom's group, right, from years ago. Okay. He looks at my toilet and he goes, hey, we got to cut that off. We got to get a new water line connection going on here. He goes, how's your basement? You notice anything down there? I go, I don't know. So we go down to my basement. Turns out that the seal of the toilet was actually slightly loose. So it was slightly leaking water for a very long time. Now, I kind of noticed this, but I thought it was just my children splashing the fuck out of the bathroom. So I never thought it was a big deal. This guy, Sam, says, this is water coming down. So what he does is he reseals the toilet and he fixes the water line. He does it all for like $150, which in my area is a great deal. And he saved me probably literally a couple $1,000s from water damage and rot because I was not noticing the water coming down that was happening without my knowledge. And I never would have known about it if I had not called this guy and brought him in to fix my metal nut. It turned out being a much bigger manifestation than just that. This is just part one of the manifestation, though. And this is subtle, but a big deal in and of itself. Because I've also discovered now a plumber that is, I can actually easily call and he will respond and get to me within 24 hours or within the day or what have you. But what happens next will interest the sensationalist of you more. He goes, how old? He's looking at this base. We're in the basement, right? He goes, how old's your boiler? How old's your water heaters? I say, all these water heaters, since we moved in, almost 10 years. He goes, I bet you these are under warranty still. I can look. I might be able to get you a new one because it's probably near the end of its life. I said, that'd be awesome, man. Let me know, He texts me the next day. He goes, you're not going to believe this. This water heater, its warranty runs out November 10th. It was like Halloween that day. He's like, I can get you a free water heater in the next 10 days. After that, you can't get a free water heater. You just have to pay for installation. I go, holy shit. First of all, I Googled this guy and made sure he wasn't scamming me, right? But I was like, holy shit, this is a great deal. And he goes, let me know. I might be able to get one for your neighbor as well. Relatively middling story short, I got a new water heater and so did my neighbor yesterday, a couple days before the warranty expires, or a week before the warranty expires, I should say. This is a brand new water heater. And not only is it a replacement of the model we had, which was expensive, which would have cost just the model, not the installation, at least $2,500 or $3,000. Not only is it that version, no, it's actually the upscale, most, basically one of the nicest water heaters you can get. I got a $5,000 hybrid water heater, as did my neighbor, just for installation costs. And on top of that, I was talking to Sam afterwards. He's a very nice guy. We have similar sensibilities. And I was asking him about his website. And I came up with an idea to help him, which I then realized I could also use for my own website and my wife's website, that could end out, making my business flow more easily, making more money, etc. So all because of this freaking metal nut in my water supply line, being unable to screw it off, I probably saved I mean, I saved at least $5,000. And now I'm potentially making money through this website idea I came up with that I would not probably have thought of easily if I hadn't met this guy, Sam. And by the way, Sam showed me the water heaters he replaced, our old water heaters. They had probably 6 months maximum, maybe 12 months before they were going to start to leak out the bottom. They were spent. This is boring, real manifestation stuff, guys. I put a community post the other day, this wonderful Joel Goldsmith quote from The Art of Spiritual Healing. And it's a paraphrase. He says, people often, they go to God expecting health or expecting wealth or abundance or to get a job. They go to God expecting that. And he says, don't go to God for any of that stuff. Go to God expecting God. Go to God expecting God, and then watch what happens in your life. This is an example of that.